Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back here to Dangerously. And yes, you've seen that right, this is the start of my playthrough of Escape from Monkey Island. Right off the bat, I have to tell you all, I'm super excited to play this game. This is, I think, one of my favourites in the series, because I think I played it at the exact right time. I was the right age, and I really have a fondness for games released around this era. I'll talk a bit more about that later. But yes, here we are, Escape from Monkey Island. Really looking forward to it. It's been a very long time since I've personally played this game. Just a little quick update on the video essay, and of course I have my work cut out for me here to try to get through all of the Monkey Island games before Return to Monkey Island launches, plus make this big video essay that I'm talking about for ages. But luckily, a bit of an update on that. I have the entire script is written and finished, and the voiceover is completely recorded. It has come in at just over 2 hours. It's going to be a very long video. I apologize in advance for that, but I think it required the amount of detail that I go into in the video to kind of explain what I think the secret of Monkey Island truly is. Hopefully I'll get that done as well, and I can continue to put these episodes out. I'll be trying to do one kind of daily if I can. Obviously it's just all dependent on how much time I have in my days, you know what I mean? I'm just so busy at the moment. I actually have work later tonight, and then I have work tomorrow as well, and I have to do this big video edit because I'm a videographer and I do video editing. I have to do this one particular edit for Monday, and if I don't get it done on Monday I don't get paid, so I have to do that. So that'll be like all of tomorrow, but I'll try to fit in an episode if I can, and then hopefully I'll have some time off to do the edit. But anyway, enough about all that kind of update stuff. I just want to get into everything about Escape from Monkey Island. As per usual, I will be starting with a bit of history about the game, a bit of kind of information about the team that made it and the people behind it. I like to do this because I'm quite interested in history of games myself, so I kind of enjoy researching this stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to put as much time into researching this game as I have the others, and that's just purely down to the fact that I just currently don't have that much time to do anything outside of just constantly working. So I'm really trying to fit everything I can in. And funnily enough, because this game is so disliked in the fan community of Monkey Island, there's actually kind of very little information out there about the game, which is kind of sad in a way, but it kind of makes it more mysterious. I'm a massive fan of Escape from Monkey Island anyway, and I will get into that a little later as well. So I'm going to start here with some just basic information. So of course it's a LucasArts title. Funnily enough as well, this is the last LucasArts adventure game in their lineup of point and click adventures and adventure games that they ever released. They basically kind of got out of that market then. Now they did come back later on, of course, and kind of have a slightly joint venture with Telltale Games, but that Monkey Island is a Telltale Games Monkey Island. It's not really anything to do with LucasArts. And of course they did the special editions, but the majority of that was actually outsourced to I've got a feeling it was Asian companies did a lot of the art specifically for it. There were a couple of people obviously within LucasArts that were hired to work on that game, but for the large part of it, you can't really count that as a LucasArts adventure game either. They basically, the signs were on the wall, or the writings were on the wall at the time, and they just decided to bow out of the LucasArts adventure games, which was kind of sad really, I suppose. But anyway, Escape from Monkey Island was released on Windows and Mac in the year 2000. The millennium. Who remembers the millennium? I remember it well. As young as I was. I was, 7 I think in the millennium? No, I was younger. 8. I was 8 years old pretty much in 2000. 7, 8. But this is just... It's from that period of time of games that I really love, and a lot of people really hate. It's this kind of transition period into kind of 3D graphics. Obviously, it was happening in the 90s with things like the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 and stuff, and on PC, of course, as well. Had all through the 90s, had a big, huge evolution. But 2000 in particular is kind of an interesting period of gaming, because there was this kind of, we had 3D, but then there was this kind of period where they were trying to kind of upgrade it a bit, and like a lot of games that came out in this particular era, 99, 2000 and 2001, there's a lot of games that are hated, like off the top of my head that I love. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking of things like Prince of Persia 3D and Escape from Monkey Island. I really love both of those games, and the fan communities of those particular series aren't too fond of them, really. So anyway, it also weirdly was released on PlayStation 2. In fact, it was LucasArts' first foray into bringing their adventure lineup into that realm of console gaming, which is quite cool. It's quite weird though. I actually do own a copy of the PlayStation 2 game. I'm not playing the PlayStation 2 game though. I've decided against it, even though there's some kind of interesting tidbits about the PS2 version that I might get into or might talk about. Maybe I might look at it in the future, have a kind of a bonus video or something down the line where I kind of play through Escape from Monkey Island and just see, is it much different? But I've heard it kind of isn't as much as the blurbs on the back of the box do. There is also a really questionable box art that was released over in the US. Yeah, look, we all know the whole American box arts are usually pretty odd for a lot of games, but yeah, that's a weird one to me. Of course, then there was a really nice looking collector's edition released at some stage. I believe I might be correct in saying that this was Australia only. Now, I might be wrong, and if anybody does know, correct me on that. But I never saw it anyway here in Ireland, and on any of these big box forums that I follow. I've only ever seen it from Australian people, so maybe it was only in Australia. Funnily enough as well, on Amazon there's a kind of a photoshopped box art. I've a feeling I've seen that face, how weird derpy it is, such a weird face. I think I've seen it on like a poster or like a marketing advert for Escape from Monkey Island, and I think somebody just photoshopped it for the Amazon thing. I don't know, maybe they thought the game was like super derpy or something. But yeah, it's quite weird. I thought it was an interesting one to bring up. But yeah, 2000 it came out in, and I will get into my own kind of personal history with the game and when I got it, just before I start to play. But yeah, great times, really, really happy memories from 2000. So, of course, LucasArts' previous title was their first foray into 3D adventure games, and it was with the much-loved and quite a class game, Grim Fandango, Tim Schafer's magnum opus, you could say. Now, it was one of these times that required 3D accelerators, so a lot of people actually kind of got left behind around this era because, you know, personal computers were definitely cheaper than they ever were, but they were still extremely expensive. So instead of that kind of really cool, kind of cartoonish, nice drawings, like the art is not like that. The art in Monkey Island 4 or Escape from Monkey Island is 3D, quite like Grim Fandango. And this rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Like, there are a lot of people out there who hate how this game looks. We'll get into how it plays in a minute, but there are a lot of people who think these games were kind of when LucasArts jumped the shark and they didn't really ever live up to their old days of point-and-click adventures. I disagree, because I think Escape from Monkey Island is actually underrated. I think there's a lot of good in it. And I am really looking forward as well to playing it, because I was surprised that I didn't like Curse as much as I thought I would. Now, that's not to say that I didn't like it at all or thought it was bad. I still think it's really good and love Curse. But I was surprised that I didn't like it as much as I remembered I liked it. So I'm really curious now to see, will Escape hold up to my child's rosy tinted nostalgia glasses? Who knows? Anyway, so let's get on to the people behind the game. Now, this is kind of a really hard one to, I suppose, show in any meaningful way, and the reason is because there just isn't that much information out there about the development of Escape from Monkey Island. There's not that many pictures of the people that were involved. There is a huge list of credits that can go out. Obviously the team had to get considerably larger in order to in order to rise to the occasion of 3D being possibly more complex than the 2D of before. It says here there's 389 people credited as being involved with Escape from Monkey Island. That's everybody from voice to administration to the actual people. But there are a lot of people. 311 developers, it says, and 78 tanks. So 311 people are credited with being part of the development team. Much, much bigger than previous games, obviously. So again, as well, kind of interestingly, almost nobody from the previous Monkey Island games returned to be involved with this game. It's like a completely new team of people. There's about 1 or 2 people that did stay on, and of course the voice acting on the large part was the same. But basically Larry Ahern and Jonathan Ackley, they were gone. They moved on. I'm not sure where they went straight away, but they were replaced by Sean Clark and Mike Stemmel. Now, their previous credits include, I believe, if I'm not wrong in saying, they were producers and directors on Sam & Max Hit the Road and The Dig. So that was their kind of previous project that they were involved in. But they kind of became the overseers here on this one. Directed, story, game design, and project leads were Sean Clark and Mike Stemmel. I literally can only find one other picture of Sean Clark on the internet, so that's the best you're going to get. Mike Stemmel has changed a lot in the preceding years. He in almost every picture I found of him, he looks different, but I think because the two of them are together in that picture, I decided to use that. So in terms of art, the guy who did lead art is Chris Miles. There isn't a picture, as far as I could tell, on the internet of this guy, unfortunately. But hopefully someday we can see the guy. But yeah, Chris Miles was the lead artist. With 3D backgrounds done by, I believe her name is Kathy Hisai, or Hisai. I might have this completely wrong, but there's Kathy. She was involved in both the conceptual phase and the backgrounds. We also had Kim Lyons on backgrounds as well. I think that's a picture of her. Again, there's just such little information out there about these people. On lead programming, we had a woman called Michelle Hinners, and I do have a few pictures of them. I will actually add that whole collection of pictures in a minute and we can see them. But the only kind of returning member from Curse was Mark Overney. Now, he was basically on lead animation again, and this time, of course, 3D animation, which probably would have been quite a new concept for him at the time. The music, as far as I can tell, was largely overseen by, this time, by Clint Bajakian. It says that Michael Land and Peter McConnell were involved in some ways, but I just don't get the feeling from the credits list that I've read that they were very much involved. Some other 3D animation and artists that are also mentioned only by name, I don't have pictures. People like Bernard Earl, we've got Paul Pierce, Edward Del Rio, Jacob Stevens. We've got a guy or a girl called Yangja Ballard. We've got David Bogan. Look, these are all Ryan Gong, Chris Schultz, David Weinstein, Joe White. These are names I'm not familiar with. these are people that I'm just not familiar with, and there doesn't seem to be any pictures of these people either. So, and I don't want to credit a picture that I'm not at least 90% sure is the actual person to the person's name either. So like I could type something into Google and something would come up. But that also goes for the fact that it's not as liked of a game, thus there actually isn't that much information out there about the game. Kind of unfortunate, but it just seems to be the way it is. So I'm actually going to just bring up kind of an interesting thing here that I found. I found this nice collection of pictures from when they basically had a PS2 launch party for Monkey Island, Escape from Monkey Island. So I'm going to actually just throw that up so we can see it, because it's actually really quite nice, I think. So the PS2 launch party, here it is. So we've got Dominic Armato there playing a Game Boy. We've got a band that was involved, and this was taken by the International House of Mojo, who were online fan forum at the time. There's Dominic again getting his makeup done for, I believe, a TV shoot, or an online TV shoot or something, video. We've got Sean Clark there, and I think Michelle Hinners is somewhere. There's a box of the grog, the famous Monkey Island grog. So there's kind of the team, and in the middle in the purple there is Michelle Hinners, so she was the lead programmer. I really like this as well, that they had a PS2 set up, and I think that's really cool. Look, Dominic there playing Game Boy Advance on a link cable with somebody. It's just like a blast from the past. That is just 2000. And obviously it looks like it was taking place on some kind of ship of some description, or maybe it was like a land ship that has been converted into something. But it looks like a nice little fun launch party of all the people that were involved together, having kind of a bit of fun. And of course, they invited along the people from the fan forum, the International House of Mojo. And these pictures I found them there, and I think they're quite cool. It's kind of a nice little time capsule of the time. And there, of course, is Mike Stemmel and Sean Clark again. So anyway, I'm going to move on from that. I actually forgot to set that up in the thing, so sorry about the little hiccup there of getting those on screen, but I think they're really nice, and they give a kind of a context to the time period. So I'm going to talk about the concept art for this, because of course this is taking a world that was previously in 2D into a 3D thing. And this lady here, Kathy Heishe, or Hisse, I really apologize if I have her second name wrong, but she was largely involved in the conceptual phase, along with Kim Lyons, who I also had a picture of, Paul Pierce, Edward Del Rio, Jacob Stevens, Shane Herrera, or Herrera maybe. But yeah, I think some of this concept art is quite cool. It kind of gives an idea that the game there could have been a 2D version of this game made at some stage. But I think if you are a fan of Monkey Island and have played through Escape, you can really see how these accurately have transitioned into the 3D world. But yeah, some of this is really beautiful. I always like involving this concept art in this stage of the videos, because I think it's really interesting to see where the games came from. Oh, what a memorable part, the swamp of time, the mists of time or something, isn't it? It's been a very long time since I played this game. But there's Stan. Stan makes an appearance. Yeah, but again, there's just these concept pieces as well actually came from the PS2 version. They are only on the PS2 version as an extra, and luckily you don't have to unlock them or anything like that, which I think is quite cool. Anyway, so on voice acting duties and direction, we again had the lovely Dara O'Farrell, who did an excellent job again. Of course, Dominic Armato returned to play Guybrush, and I think he's done an excellent job here. Now, unfortunately, Alexandra Boyd didn't actually return, and she was replaced by an American actress named Charity James. Kind of interesting. I didn't notice it at the time that she had gone from British to American, but what I do remember is that she was way more sweet on Guybrush, if that makes sense. She was much nicer. She didn't kind of have that hard edge that Alexandra Boyd gave her. I'm not quite sure why Alexandra didn't return. Maybe she was busy with other projects. But yeah, Charity James is an excellent replacement. She does a great job. A lot of people kind of weren't too happy about it, and Alexandra Boyd has actually returned several times since in both special editions and as well now in the upcoming Return to Monkey Island, which is days away. Anyway, so we had Leilani Jones returns again as the Voodoo Lady. We have, of course, Earl Bone as LeChuck. Denny Delk actually returns, so Murray does return. Kind of interesting place in the game as well, but we'll get to that when we get to it. I'm not going to say who these individuals are in terms of their actors, or their characters that they play, but we have an actor called Paul Eating. We've got an actor called William Morgan Shepherd, who has a really distinctive voice, and that's actually a still of a Christopher Nolan movie that he's in called The Prestige, and I think that's... I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. I hope he is, but if he's not, rest in peace, of course. Then, of course, we have Rob Paulson, who's got an illustrious career in voice acting, and he's actually returning as well in Return to Monkey Island, although in a different character. And then we've got Cam Clark is actually in this game. He's in a kind of a small role, but any of you that do know and are a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series will of course know Cam Clark plays Liquid Snake. Cam Clark has an illustrious career in voice acting as well, much TV shows, many kids 90s famous TV shows. I actually think I mightn't be wrong in saying that he plays Leonardo in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I might be wrong in that, but I think I might be right. I'm just going to actually look at his credit list here, because I think it's worth just showing that voice acting was something that was super important to these games and Lucas Arts in general to make the games just sound amazing. Like, this guy has had a serious career in video games anyway, so there is actually no TV showing up, but just to give you an example of some of the games he was in, of course, the Metal Gear Solid series as Liquid Snake. He was in Outlaws. He was also in Alundra 2. He was in Ballard's Gate 2, Return to Monkey Island as one of the soldiers, or Return to Castle Wolfenstein as one of the soldiers. He was voiceover talent in Fallout Tactics, Soldier of Fortune 2, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, Eternal Darkness. He was part of the cast. Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, The Hobbit, Tenchu Return to Darkness, Painkiller, Doom 3 additional voices, Yakuza additional voices. It kind of just goes on really. Killer 7, Mass Effect. He was back as the same character that he plays here in The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, Lost Planet 2, Dead Island. Like, I could go on. This guy's had a very, very long career. He's still going as well. Most recently, he was in... Yeah, he did voice Leonardo, so he must have, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I vaguely remember that. For some reason, his cartoon career isn't showing up here. It's like main credits. Audio. Yeah, I don't know. But Cam Clark, I think he is Leonardo, if I'm correct in thinking that. So, anyway, let's get on finally to my kind of personal history. So there's a copy of the game that I do own. I have my big box. That's the big box we see here. I've got these nice plastic protective cases as well to keep them safe. This unfortunately isn't my original big box though. So as you can see, a picture of Smith's there. So I bought the game, well sorry, my mother bought the game for me because I knew the game was coming out and I really wanted it. I was so excited to play a new Monkey Island game. I was 7-8 years old and I convinced my mother to come in and that it would only be 20 or 25 pounds or euros. I don't know if we moved to euros at that stage yet, but I convinced my mother that it would be a reasonable price. And it was very warm for some reason that day in Smith's Toy Superstore, in the game section of it. And I remember going in there with my mother, picking up the game, and I think it was like 35 or 40 pounds or something. And my mother was not happy that I had kind of, not tricked her, but I suppose I just had given her the illusion that it was going to be a reasonably priced game, and she was happy to buy it at the reasonable price. But then at the higher price, money was kind of scarce back then. We weren't well off or anything like that. But yeah, she was not happy, and I remember her kind of really scolding me, but I kind of somehow finagled and weaseled my way that she'd buy the copy of the game for me. But I remember it was so hot in Smiths that day. It was packed with people, because I think it was around Christmas time, and we were out in a sweat. And I remember my mother was sweating, because it was just so warm in there. I think they might have turned up the heat because it was Christmas time, and it was just packed to the capacity with people. And she was not happy that day at all. And I remember just kind of feeling really bad about it, but also being really delighted to get my hands on an Escape from Monkey Island. I was just so happy. I just wanted to play the game. So, of course, I got my copy of it. Now, that big box that you see on screen and the one that I showed isn't my original, as I said. This actually is my original copy, because my big box, stupidly, when you're a kid, you just these things you used to kind of use and take out all the time, and I used to bring it to school for some reason. I used to put it in my bag. I was just so into Escape from Monkey Island. I used to try to draw the same type of Guybrush and the duck that you see on the front, and I used to just bring it around with me, and of course it got absolutely destroyed in that bag. And basically, after a time, it just gets so tatty that, a mother or a father or whoever will see it around the house, and they won't kind of think, oh, that's something they might want to keep, and they just throw it out. And unfortunately, my big box is gone. Either that, or it was left at school, because I remember I was doing some kind of art project or something, and I wanted to kind of copy the art style on the front of it. I was hugely enamored by Escape from Monkey Island. I loved the idea that it was going 3D, and I was just really delighted to play it. So we actually had a new computer at the time as well, luckily, so it actually ran flawlessly on my Dell computer, my Windows 98 computer that we had a powerful enough graphics card and all that. And basically what happened anyway was, in school we also had computer time. Now, to the American viewers, if there are any, now your version of computer time in your schools is way more advanced than what we had as kids over here in Ireland. Our local school had one old Windows 95 PC, and then you had to kind of allot 20 minutes, 30 minutes throughout the day to each student. Say there's 20 or 30 students, and you could kind of play little edutainment titles or something like that on it. But myself and a friend of mine, Cahill was his name, we were massive PC gamers, and we all often used to, let each other borrow each other's games. And of course, he bought Escape from Monkey Island as well after I told him how good it was. And for some reason, I don't know why, he brought his copy of Escape from Monkey Island into school. And he installed it on the computer, and then as a kind of way to get out of class, it was a way to kind of, you'd have to show each kid how to play Escape from Monkey Island during their time. So I kind of thought, I want some time off school too. So I brought in my copy, and we decided to use my copy one of the days. So myself and Cahill were getting time off to show people how to use computers, because we were kind of the most computer literate children in the class, if that makes sense, because we had computers at home since very early ages. And for some reason, I don't know why, well, actually I do know why, the game would be pausing because the computers were way too old. They didn't have graphics cards, so it would freeze and lock up. And then Cahill got the bright idea to go around the back, and instead of just plugging out the computer and plugging it back in, or turning it off, or resetting it, by holding the reset button, he got the bright idea to switch, because there's switches on power, I don't know if they do it anymore, but there's switches on power supplies for PCs that you can switch from the voltage from, say, for America or for Europe. And of course the power standard is different, 50 hertz versus 60 hertz. Now, it's not as the same with PC technology, but certainly the power standard is different. That's why you need a step-down transformer over here in order to use anything that's from America. But, so he switched over to the American side for some reason, and there was a massive bang in the class. Huge bang. It sounded like a shotgun had gone off. And the computer died. Instantly fried. The power supply was fried. Gone. Basically useless. Not working. And my disc 1 was inside the computer. So the teacher told us, oh, get away from the computer. You know, she thought something dangerous had happened. She didn't want any of the kids to get hurt. So she was like, stay away from the computer. And basically that was in the equivalent of 3rd class. Now we have 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th class before you go to the high school or the next school basically. So yeah, 3rd class. And basically I couldn't get the disc out of the computer because she wouldn't allow us to just even like get something in and jam it and open up the disc drive in order to get it out. She was just like, oh no, stay away from the computer, stay away from the computer. And about a week later, that computer was taken out of the class, even though I was pleading with them. I just want to get my disc back. I just want to get my disc back. And they were like, no, we can't do that. So much so that about 6 months later, during the end of the year or something, I actually brought my dad in because my dad was kind of computer literate as well. And I asked him, would he talk to the teacher for me and please be like, can we get the CD out of the drive, please? Can my dad just take the drive out? And, you know, and the same teacher, she was just like, I'm sorry, we can't do that, blah, blah, blah. The computer now, the computer was gone at that stage out of the school. So along with it went my disc 1. So again, time was hard, money was tight, and I had no way of playing Escape from Monkey Island. There was no such thing as the internet. I couldn't download an ISO of it. The internet was way too slow. It was dial-up. So even if you could get it, like this game is, you know, over, I think it's a 2 gig game or a 1.8 gig game. There's 2 CDs. Like, it was just depressing. I couldn't play the game that I really wanted to play, and there was no way my mother or my father were going to buy me another copy of it. So I just had to wallow in misery for a while. And, you know, as a kid, you're kind of thinking, oh, maybe if I put in disc 2, it'll work. No, it didn't work. Really, really sad. But anyway, fucking jump to 3 years later when I'm finishing school. I'm in 6th class, and one day in comes that same teacher, and she goes, oh, is this child here? And blah, 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 for me. And I'm sitting there and going, why am I wanted by this teacher at the moment? So I get up and I go outside the hallway. And she comes in, or she opens up a little, she has a little notebook, and she goes, now, last week there were people in the school and they were, wiping all the old computers, and then one of the computers they brought back to life, and the disk tray opened up, and out came a disc, and the person who was working on the computer said, what's this? And the teacher happened to be there, and she said, I know exactly who owns that. Thus, I got my disc 1 back. So I have a complete copy of Escape from Monkey Island. And what an amazing tale, huh? That's a tale attached to this game. And I think I must have went straight back home and started to play the game. I was delighted, absolutely delighted to have my game back. So I do have several versions of this. I obviously have the aforementioned big box that I showed you, and it's covered in a nice plastic thing. I have my original copy, unfortunately not my original big box, that's long gone. I've got a PS2 edition, PAL copy. Interesting, curious, strange that it's on a PlayStation 2, but there you are. And then I have one of these LucasArts Classics versions as well with the purple spines. I got that much later, I got it for like nothing in a shop, just came across it. Anyway, so that's my personal history of the game, and that's a really, really long intro. But now I'm going to tell you just very quickly how I'm going to be playing this game. So I have set up my iMac, which is specifically for recording music, in this room, and it's an older iMac. It's 2013 iMac, but it's the highest spec 2013 iMac. I've used Boot Camp to install Windows 10, and thus I'm able to play Escape from Monkey Island. It all worked out in the end. It took a bit of finagling and a bit of work to get everything working, but I will be playing the Windows native version, and I have installed it off my disk. I used a really handy what would you call it, like installer that because it's a 32-bit installer on the original discs, it won't work on modern systems. So somebody called quickandeasysoftware.net, I think, made a custom installer which you can change the resolution and things for as well. But basically that's the long and short of it. There's not that much more. One thing I'd like to point out, there is a really cool interview which was done recently with a girl. She's a British girl on YouTube and Twitch. She's a Twitch streamer. She's called Laura Cress. Her YouTube, I think, is Cressup. And she interviewed both Dominic Armato recently about Return to Monkey Island, but also she interviewed Mike Stemmel. And I think it's a really interesting interview to check out, because he kind of doesn't really talk much about the development. He doesn't really remember much from that time. I suppose it was such a long time ago, and maybe he doesn't really want to remember much of it. But it's definitely worth checking out, and I might link it down below. I had a picture of it, but for some reason it's not showing up. Maybe I can actually just put it in very quickly, just so you can see the thumbnail for yourself. I think it's, worth bringing up again, because these are all things that are very, very interesting to look at. So here it is, Laura Cress and Mike Stemmel, their interview. There it is. So that's what the thumbnail looks like, and that's what Laura looks like. And she seems like a lot of fun. She is a British lady, and she does some really nice interviews with some LucasArts alumni. And I'm sure she's going to continue doing amazing work with her Twitch channel, and maybe interviewing more people from different games and stuff like that. It's definitely worth checking out anyway if you're interested. So I'm just going to set up now everything to play. So you may hear the sound of an Xbox controller connecting, because I will be able to play this with a controller. A lot of people think that the PC version controls really badly, because it has kind of tank controls and not great tank controls, which were also in Grim Fandango. But this game luckily actually has an option to change in the option menu, that you can play it with camera relative controls. Yeah, camera relative controls, which makes it a dream to play, and it's really nice to play with a controller. Now, I originally played this game with a keyboard, but I won't be doing that this time. Anyway, so I'm going to open up the game. You will hear some dinging, and there's the sound of the waves, because they put in the kind of startup screen, the original one anyway, there's kind of like monkey sounds and stuff like that, and waves like you just heard. And the person who made this new startup and installer re-implemented them. I'm actually going to be playing it at a higher resolution than the original. I'm going to be playing it at 1280 by 960. It's a 640 by 480 game originally, and I don't think there was any options really to change the graphics in the original version. But anyway, there is a very, very long intro, but I think it's really nice to talk about the context and the history behind all this stuff. Now, the game just kicks straight into it. That's why I'm kind of waiting before I press it. But so here we go. Love that sound. And here we go. So let's watch the opening cutscene together. Never gets old. The theme never gets old. I remember when I first played this, I was just so buzzing. Like, there, John Buzz. I was buzzing to play this game. Like, yeah. So like Michael Land and Peter McConnell were composers, but I don't think they were like heavily involved in the making of this game, because a lot of the music sounds reused. Larry the O. Darrow O'Farrell there again, voice producer and director. Lead animator Mark Overney, and technical artist Alicia Picarillo. There's Chris Miles, as I said, and Michelle Hinners. I'm actually really excited to play this. It's been so long. Boom, boom, boom. Sean Clark and Mike Stemmel. I love this opening cutscene.
Log of Guybrush Threepwood. Sometimes when it's quiet, I can still hear the monkeys. It's hard to believe that it's only been a few years since I first washed up on the beaches of Melee Island, armed with nothing more than a goofy name and an overpowering urge to become a swashbuckling pirate. I want to be a pirate. Who could have suspected that such a humble pursuit would lead me to cross swords with the evil ghost pirate LeChuck, the slimiest slug ever to plunder the seven seas? And who could have guessed that my battles with LeChuck would introduce me to the love of my life, Melee Island's Governor Elaine Marley. Or that my efforts to win Elaine's hand would repeatedly drag me to the mystery-drenched shores of Monkey Island. That's the second biggest monkey head I've ever seen. Or that I would finally end the scourge of LeChuck, burying him beneath a mountain of ice.
We only did that recently.
Not me, that's for sure. Back then, the only thing duller than my sword was my wit. Now look at me. I'm married to the most beautiful governmental official in the Caribbean. The entire Tri-Island area shudders at the sound of my name. And now my Plunder Bunny and I are returning to Melee Island after the most incredible honeymoon in the history of...
Guybrush!
Yes, dear?
Guybrush! Stop daydreaming and make yourself useful!
So here we are. I always wondered who were these pirates that they were fighting, and why is Guybrush tied to the mast of the ship? It made no sense to me. I love this piece of music. I think this is one of my favorites in the series. Anyway, I'm going to quickly actually look. Yeah, I'm going to bring this down a tiny bit because I don't want it too loud. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, so here we are. And what I like about this as well is it's kind of like the Curse of Monkey Island start section where you're kind of locked in an escape room to kind of learn the game. But yeah, Guybrush just moving around the pole. It's really cool. I love it. Alright. So anyway, as well, kind of interesting about it is that opening cutscene where he kind of talks about his previous adventures and how he defeated LeChuck finally under a mountain of ice. That was actually a spoiler for me and my sister back in the day because we hadn't finished Curse at that stage. I think we got very close to the end, but we were just stuck. But this game then we got as well, and it just kind of gave away the ending. But while now I would be really kind of pissed off if a game ruined a story for me, I didn't mind for some reason as a kid. I thought it was kind of cool. It built the lore. Anyway.
It's the grated door to the ship's cargo hold.
Okay. This is kind of interesting as well. So, kind of like Grim Fandango, you have this... They were kind of like trying to streamline the game. In Grim Fandango, they had no words on screen like they do down at the bottom there. And you can change Guybrush's head. He'll look towards whatever he is, whatever you have highlighted. It was less obvious in Grim Fandango because you just had to look at what Manny was actually looking at. But in this, they have the little, inventory item line or whatever, so that you know what you're actually looking at. So like the loaded cannon, for example.
That cannon looks ready to fire. If only I could get that thing to go off. That cannon looks ready to fire. If only I could get that thing to go off.
Yeah, there's Dominic Armato again. He sounds so young here as well.
Even if I wasn't tied to a mast, I doubt I could pick up that cannon. It's way out of reach. I don't have a thing to my name.
Yeah, and you've got a kind of really interesting inventory in this.
That cannon looks ready to fire. If only I could get that thing to go off.
Okay, let's look at the enemy pirate.
There's an enemy pirate fighting over there.
Let's try talk to him.
I'm not picking that up.
I'm not picking that up.
I don't have a thing to my name. Excuse me. I don't suppose you'd mind just leaving us alone? I'll give you all my milk money. Excuse me? I guess he doesn't want to talk to me.
Okay.
Excuse me. I don't suppose you'd mind just leaving us alone? I'll give you all my milk money. Excuse me?
I'll give you all my milk money. So the reason I didn't use Scum as well is because the Scum version, even though Residual has actually merged into Scum, the Scum version at the moment is actually really bugged. You can play through the game, but I don't think it works really well. I actually don't know how this version will play because I've never really played past this section much. Hopefully it won't have that many bugs, but here we are.
It's full of hot coals.
Okay. I remember being stuck on this puzzle for quite a while because I just didn't understand the gameplay mechanics yet. And the keyboard controls are a bit strange.
It's full of hot coals. There's a pile of red-hot coals simmering on the deck there. Now I'm glad we got the ship with the flame-retardant lacquered deckwood. There's a pile of red-hot coals simmering on the deck there. Now I'm glad we got the ship with the flame-retardant lacquered deckwood.
No bother. How about pick it up? So I really like this, that he does a kind of a hacky sack thing. Okay, let's see. Kick it at the pirate.
Better not try that again.
Love it.
I don't have a thing to my name. It's too cumbersome to handle with just my feet.
Okay. Kind of hard to control a little bit, but not terrible. Alright, let's put it into the cargo hold.
I hope there was nothing flammable in the hold. I really hope it didn't burn any holes in Elaine's suede luggage. I'd never hear the end of it.
I've heard that the PS2 one, the audio as well as of a higher fidelity because they didn't have, you know, as limited space as the two CDs. They had a DVD, of course. Anyway, let's continue on. Can I can actually kick one at the ship, can't I? I can, yeah, the enemy ship. It's so funny.
I guess a hot coal just doesn't have as much oomph as a cannonball out of a cannon.
Well, that's obviously trying to tell us something.
I don't have a thing to my name.
What's your sign? Can I buy you a grog?
He's looking at the enemy ship.
Their ship is bigger than ours. Those bullies.
Come here, Alvin. What's your sign?
Oh, he's picking up the enemy ship. Because I'm using the pick up button. I'm going to have to learn these buttons on the controller because I can go into the menu obviously, but it just doesn't really make sense.
Their ship is bigger than ours. Those bullies.
Those bullies.
It's the grated door to the ship's cargo hold. I have more important things to do than futz around in the cargo hold. I'm not picking that up. Excuse me. I don't suppose you'd mind just...
Oh, that's how I bring up the menu, okay. No, I don't want to quit. Why did I go to quit?
Leave us alone? I'll give you all my milk money.
That's
I guess he does.
That's how you skip dialogue. Select is how you skip dialogue. Okay, so let's get this puzzle over and done with. I don't think there's anything else I can do. And I need to just double make sure I can't kick one at a pirate anymore.
Nope, he might not miss next time.
Very good. Okay. Loaded cannon. I love that puzzle. I think it's simple, but I think it's really cool. Elaine, as always, cool as hell.
Little snuggle cakes.
Hey, Elaine. Could you untie me?
I always loved that. I think that they're a great couple. I don't get the Ron Gilbert thing. Act 1. Things to do on Melee Island, TM, when you're dead. Oh, yeah.
The way I pushed that smelly pirate right over the rail. Now that's the stuff of pirates.
I hope the loyal citizens of Melee don't hurt themselves. I mean, you know, all the pushing and shoving on the dock to see my, our return. Could be dangerous. Make sure this one stays on top.
Then there was the swab who came at me with the rusty fid. I sure taught him a thing or two about the proper use of deck chairs. Whoa. Got it.
The burden of being the governor of such an adoring yet unsophisticated public can be so draining. I'll be lucky if I can get a second to myself for months.
You know, we make a great team. The way we communicate, the way we work together, and the way we anticipate each other's every move. There's nothing we can't accomplish.
Oh, well, here goes. Might as well get all the hullabaloo over with. What? Where is everyone?
Maybe everyone went to bed early?
Where's the welcoming committee? The banners? The crushing throng of well-wishers? Oh dear, do you know what this means?
We can spend another 3 months honeymooning.
No, you adorable numbskull. Something has gone horribly wrong while I've been away. Nothing else can explain.
What's that? Hey, it's Timmy the monkey. How are you, boy?
Like, who's Timmy, like? Oh, look, the scum bar.
Either his litter box is full or he's trying to tell us something. What is it, boy?
Timmy, is something wrong?
Go that way.
Free grog at the scum bar?
There's been an outbreak of scurvy?
You won $74 playing bingo, but lost it all playing banana futures.
There's trouble at the governor's mansion! Let's go!
Let's try 49, 7.9, minus 27. Fire!
What do you think you're doing?
What does it look like I'm doing, fancy pants? I'm knocking down the governor's mansion.
You can't knock down the governor's mansion without approval from the governor.
Yeah.
The governor's dead, ma'am.
Dead?
Twas the marriage that killed her, they say.
I am the governor. Do I look dead to you?
No, ma'am.
Then cease and desist your boulder flinging immediately.
Yeah.
Sorry, governor. I'm under contract. I'm legally obligated to destroy your mansion with this here catapult.
Something's rotten on Melee Island.
I know. But the stench usually drifts away with high tide.
I've got a plan.
Although it sometimes lingers during an eclipse.
Guybrush,
Yes, dear?
I'm going down to City Hall to see about getting declared undead.
Won't that make you a flesh-eating zombie?
In the meantime, I need you to do 2 things for me.
More back rubs and foot massages?
Maybe later. First, I want you to put a stop to this insane boulder flinging.
Stop the insanity. Check.
Second, I want you to go to Lucre Island, talk to my grandpa's lawyers. They might know how to help us fight City Hall.
Oh, but I hate talking to lawyers.
And not as much as they'll hate talking to you, dear.
Okay.
Well, I've got a resurrection to perform. Be good, dear. And don't forget, stop the catapult, go to Lucre Island.
Sounds like the honeymoon's over.
She was a lot nicer before she died.
Okay. I think I'm gonna slightly bring down dialogue as well because it might be quite loud. Just bring all this stuff down. Enter. Oh yeah, I can't. Can I? Why can't I bring that down? Why can't I bring the music down? Oh. Huh? There we are.
Oh, yeah, naughty. Hitting.
That's better. So yeah, here we are. Camera relative, as you can see. Oh yeah, look at this. So in The Curse of Monkey Island, there was a menu joke as well. So in this one, there is also a menu joke. The Gee Whiz factor. So if you go in here, this is obviously all about this. But look at multiplayer options. No, I don't wanna. No tag team adventure gaming is just too easy. TCP socket bind failed. Look, there's no network play, okay? And no horse multiplayer shit. What does that say? Stop asking already. No multiplayer. So yeah, there you go. A really simple joke. A multiplayer option in Monkey Island. Although that'd be a lot of fun, I think. I think there's something in that, potentially. So here we are. We've got the trebuchet operator, and he's going to be catapult rather, and he's going to be catapulting stones at this lovely house.
You wouldn't think a scrawny guy like that could lift those heavy boulders.
Oh, you calling scrawny, pencil neck.
I don't think he'd like that. I don't have a thing to my name.
Let's try.
Right, let's talk to him.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Just a sec. 49, 7.9, minus 27. What?
What?
Please stop firing boulders at my house. It's very unnerving.
Sorry about that, kid, but I'm under contract.
What would it take to get you to stop flinging rocks at my house?
Permanently? Yeah, some kind of restraining order, I guess. You'd need some fancy lawyers for that.
Okay, how about temporarily?
Well, the union gives us liberal snack breaks during the day, but I don't have any snacks.
Okay, maybe if I get the man some snacks, he'll stop.
What would it take to get you to stop flinging rocks at my house?
Permanently? Well, but I don't have...
Okay.
What are those numbers you're muttering?
You know? I don't rightly know. They're supposed to be targeting numbers or something, but I'll be danged if I can figure them out. All I know is how to hit that cactus. I'm trying to extrapolate from there.
Ah, he can hit the cactus. Okay.
Could you show me how to hit the cactus?
Nah, I only do that when I think the catapult's out of alignment. I wouldn't want to waste one of these boulders. They're expensive.
Okay. Okay.
You seem like a busy man. I'll let you return to your evil deeds.
Thanks.
Right, so here is Guybrush in all his 3D glory. I like his red jacket, but again, I've got such a soft spot for this game. I just kind of like it.
Hey, get away from there before I pop you one on the head, capiche?
Right, so he doesn't want me anywhere near.
Stay over there, pencil neck.
Doesn't want me anywhere near his catapult.
Hey, get away from there before...
Right, look at his neck and his hunchback.
Stay over there, pencil neck.
Right, what if I go for a run up here?
Let's try 17, 3.7, minus 6.
No, I don't want cactus needles poking through my shorts.
Fire!
Oh, look at that. Look at that little high fidelity.
There's no way that's gonna fit in my pants.
A monkey-shaped
I don't
bush.
think so. Looks like our landscaper has been monkeying around. Brad, Polly want a fertilizer pellet? Brad, Polly want a fertilizer pellet?
Oh,
Brad, Polly want a fertilizer pellet? I wonder how these cacti got onto our tropical pirate island.
good question.
No way. I don't want to be inside if that guy actually gets lucky and hits the house.
Let's try 17, 3.7.
No way. I don't want to be inside if that guy actually... I wonder how these cacti got onto our tropical pirate island.
Look at the mansion.
Hey, that's where I live.
Can Guybrush get hit by the cannon? Look at the funny cactus that he can hit.
What an odd-looking cactus. As useful as a two-pronged cactus would be, I'd rather not stick one in my pants. What an odd-looking cactus.
How interesting. So what we're going to do in this episode, as we always do, is just take a kind of a look around.
Hey, I bet I could market this. Vegetarian steak. That is one fat bird.
Look around the island, and then we'll call it quits for that, because this episode's already really long and I barely started. Jump off cliff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember this joke. It's great.
Goodbye, cruel adventure game. Forget it.
He doesn't want to do it.
Okay.
I love that.
Bye. Forget it.
That's a good joke.
That pig-shaped bush frightens and confuses me.
Radio.
That path leads back to Melee Town.
Okay, let's go to Melee Town. So yeah, we are on Melee Island as well, and a lot of people who were big fans of the original Monkey Island probably weren't too happy with the many design changes they made. But here we are. Can you read the clock? I can't remember. Probably not.
It's a door that goes somewhere.
Oh, this is the mysterious door, yeah. You can go through the doors.
I'm not picking that up. Sold. The old, creepy, unlit place for books. Gee, that doesn't sound too inviting.
This just brings me around these doors, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh! Right, we'll come back to there. I wonder, is there another Easter egg attached to those doors? Because I think in the original game, if you go through all these kind of interesting doors...
Another sold sign. I'm not picking that up.
I'm not picking that up. Right, so what do we have here? The International House of Mojo.
The original International House of Mojo. Supplier of all things voodoo-oriented. Wonder who the voodoo lady hired to run the place after she relocated to Puerto Pollo.
Ah, they reference Puerto Pollo. How interesting. Wow. Again, there'll be a lot of screens and stuff in these games that I just haven't seen in, like, eons.
Ouch. I hate to be that guy.
Yeah, it's hard to get to everything that you need, like, to find exactly where it is. Examine bottle of stinky fluid. Is that what that says? Viscous.
No thanks. Cream of frog.
Cream of frog. There we are.
Sea slug pate. Essence of worm-ridden seagull. Ugh, that's really, really disgusting. Monkey armpit juice? No thanks.
I want some monkey armpit juice.
No thanks. I'll pass.
No thanks. Creamy fluid. Yuck. Voodoo beads. Beady.
Beady. I don't think they're for sale.
A strange mirror. Come on, Guybrush.
What a strange mirror. It appears to be attached to the wall. What a strange mirror. What a strange mirror.
So we got some stuff over here. Oh, can I climb the ladder? He can.
Nothing interesting up here.
What a random little thing. I don't quite remember that. Look at pile of bones.
Perhaps I've become desensitized, but this pile of human bones no longer sickens me as it once did. I'm not carting around anyone's mortal remains unless it's absolutely necessary.
Right, we've got a voodoo mask.
No way. Installing the drivers on these things always gives me a headache. Wow, a 4DFX Voodoo Mask 6! Cutting-edge voodoo technology.
A chicken basket.
No way! I've had more than my share of chicken feathers. The smell of this basket brings back horrible memories of Puerto Pollo.
There you go, another reference to Curse of Monkey Island.
This basket brings back horrible memories of Puerto Pollo.
Yeah. They're just going for it straight away with the references. Okay. Look at thumb.
That's quite a thumb. This finger seems slightly different than the others. Ah, the middle finger. The most communicative of fingers. If that's a ring finger, I'd hate to see the size of the ring. For a pinky finger, it's quite large. I've already got a pinky finger. Nothing happened. There are only a few hands I want in my pants, and this isn't one of them. This table must have been a hand-me-down.
Very good.
There are only a few hands I want in my pants, and this isn't one of them.
Okay, let's try all the fingers.
I don't need another ring finger.
'Cause I remember one of the fingers does something.
Nothing happened. As useful as a big thumb would be when hitching for rides, I don't think I need it.
Used thumb.
Nothing happened.
Where's the middle? There's the middle.
Nothing happened.
Okay. Where's just a normal finger? Look at finger. Use finger.
Yikes!
There she is, the voodoo lady.
You pull?
Hey, it's you!
Yes, it is I.
You seem to show up whenever I'm in trouble. Why?
Who can say? Perhaps it's because we share an unspoken magical bond. Perhaps the fates have intertwined our destinies. Or maybe I've got an unbreakable 5-game deal with LucasArts. In any event, I'm here to help. How can I assist you, Guybrush Threepwood?
An unbreakable 5-game deal, so they were trying to, you know, get the idea across that there would be a 5th game. And there was, and now there's even a 6th game. Ah. I thought we'd chat for a while, catch up in old times.
My mystic eye sees precious time wasted in idle chit-chat. What would you like to know?
Didn't you relocate to the island of Puerto Pollo?
I did, but I sensed that I was needed here on Melee. Besides, the incessant clucking on Puerto Pollo was driving me mad.
Did you really move your thriving voodoo emporium back to Melee Island just to be near me?
Yes, but perhaps my voodoo senses were on the fritz.
Yeah.
Why is Melee Island so empty?
That is an excellent question, Guybrush.
I thought so. Well, why is Melee Island so empty?
Oh, that. About a month ago, a mysterious overseas investor began buying up all of Melee Island from the local pirates. Those that wouldn't sell have been challenged to various forms of insult games. Insult sword fighting, insult golf, insult darts, insult arm wrestling. You get the idea. Strangely, this investor always wins. He's the best insulter the Tri-Island area has ever seen. Eventually, even the craftiest of Melee's pirates have been forced to sell after wagering their homes and businesses in ever-escalating rounds of insult gaming.
How awful. Why don't the pirates just refuse to play?
How many pirates do you know that can resist a duel?
Good point.
In any event, the few pirates remaining on Melee Island live in constant fear of being challenged by this foreign investor.
Do you know anything more about the mysterious foreign investor?
Only that he comes from a faraway exotic place called Sydney.
Sydney? That sounds like the name of a kid who gets beat up a lot in school.
Sydney, Australia. I love it. I kind of half forgot about the whole buying up the real estate. I think that's what the whole game is kind of about.
You've helped me so much over the years, and I still don't know your name.
My name is not important.
Oh.
Oh, come on. What's your name?
Do not taunt the fates, Threepwood. The truth of my name will be revealed when the time is right, and no sooner.
I wonder what the voodoo lady's name is.
I'd like to talk about more important matters.
Like what?
I'd like to gossip a little more. I don't need any more of your enigmatic hoodoo right now. Do you have any...
I sense that you wish to dabble in the dangerous voodoo arts. What did you have in mind?
Oh, look at that little arrow. Completely forgot about that.
Have you got any of those evil destroying voodoo dolls?
Sorry, we're fresh out.
Fresh
We're
out.
expecting a shipment from Dinky Island early next week, though.
How about one of those invisibility necklaces to help me sneak into women's locker rooms?
Those are nice, aren't they?
Yeah. Got any?
No, it's been a bad year for unspoiled eyeballs.
That's again quite a not Guybrush-y kind of joke. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's just kind of childish, really.
Do you have any plus 10 strength elixirs in stock?
Perhaps. What are your current stats?
I don't think I've got any.
Well then, what good would a strength elixir do?
I see your point. I could really use a potion that would make me immune to severe gas attacks.
You're telling me. Tragically, our shipment from Booty Island is also running late.
Late. Booty Island. Right.
I'm in the market for an enchanted sword that hypnotizes my enemies into a deep stupor before I skewer them with it.
You don't need a sword to send your foes into a stupor, my child. Just be yourself.
Gee, thanks.
Oh god.
Have you got any snacks? I'm starving.
I left my gum machine in Puerto Pollo.
Aw.
You might want to try the scum bar if you're really hungry.
Okay.
On second thought, I probably shouldn't be shopping at a time like this.
True.
Right, okay, I don't know. Oh, I'm still marked for voodoo drenched Deus Ex Machina that'll save the proverbial day. Okay,
The cards have foretold that you seek direction.
I do.
How do I stop that weasel from hurling rocks at my house?
What goes up must come down. But what's more important is where it comes down.
Yeah, like on my house. I'm still not sure how to stop my house from getting destroyed.
Gravity is your friend. Use their own instruments against them.
Yeah, well, I know the answer to the puzzle, but that's a good hint.
How do I get to Lucre Island?
It's a fairly simple procedure. Get on your ship.
But I
Get a
don't have
crew.
ship.
So find one. Must I draw you a map? Then assemble your crew.
Yep,
Crew? Where am I gonna get a crew?
the usual.
A pirate town. Even in these economically depressed times, you should be able to find a couple of competent sailors. Then sail to Lucre Island.
But I don't know where to find Lucre Island.
That's what navigators are for, Guybrush. I believe there's one in the scum bar.
Okay, no bother.
Actually, I think I can figure out what to do next all by myself.
Very well.
Okay, lovely. I'm going to leave her for the time being.
More of your enigmatic hoodoo right now.
As you wish, Guybrush. I'll be here later if you need me.
All right. I don't want this episode to go on too long, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore around the actual island itself. I'm going to save the scum bar for the next episode because there's kind of a lot to do in there. Let's just have a look around. This
Wow,
button.
that's one flexible merboy.
I
I suppose it would make a good lawn ornament, but it'd never fit in my pants.
don't know. It might.
I wonder what that is.
I just love all these areas. They're just so reminiscent of my childhood to me. Look at these people over here. What do we have here? What's this building?
It's a door that goes somewhere.
Somewhere? A gate.
Wonder where this goes. Somehow I think the landowners would protest.
Huh.
Wonder where this goes. Too bad it's locked. Guess I'll never find out.
Use it.
Wonder where this goes. Too bad it's locked.
Right, so there's the scum bar, and the scum bar has, I think, changed its location as well.
The Scum Bar, haven for the rowdiest bunch of drunken scallywags you'll ever see.
Right. Okay. Let's have a quick chat to these two fine people.
I could swear that I've seen those pirates somewhere before.
Okay.
I'm not picking that up.
Okay.
Ahoy there, fellow seafaring wastrels.
Yes! Oh, sorry about that.
You startled us.
Yeah, that's it. I startled.
You two look awfully familiar. I think I know who they are, if you haven't guessed it already.
You two look awfully familiar.
Oh, we have very common-looking faces. Isn't that right?
Oh, definitely. Can't swing a dead Chinook around here without hitting someone who look like us.
Didn't we run into each other last summer?
Didn't we run into each other last summer on Fat Island?
We've never been to Fat Island.
And never in the summers.
I'm putting together a crew for a mission to Lucre Island. Want to join?
Holy jumping mother of God, no!
I'll take that as a no, then.
You'll have to excuse my friend. Our last adventure on the high seas ended badly. We're in no hurry to return.
I wonder who they are.
Are you sure we haven't met?
Drop it, Threepwood.
Hey, how'd you know my name?
Doesn't everyone know the name of Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate?
True, but I still think you guys look familiar. Aren't you the famous comedy team of Youngler and Muntz?
Youngler and Muntz? Never heard of them.
You haven't? But they're brilliant! They do this bit about how men leave the commode seat up and how women love to shop for boots. Well, I guess you had to be there.
Apparently.
Yeah, Guybrush is just losing his mind.
I could swear that I know you guys.
I really don't think so.
Dudes, aren't you the founding members of Keel Hall, the world's loudest pirate speed metal band?
Not likely. Neither of us can carry a tune.
Well, neither can Keel Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Join my crew. It'll be fun.
No.
Thanks, but no.
I could swear that I know you guys.
I really don't think so.
Yeah.
We share a cruise to Monkey Island once?
I don't think so.
Carla, make the bad man stop. He's come to take us back. to Monkey Island.
Carla?
Who?
You can't fool me. You're Carla, the Swordmaster of Melee Island. And you're Otis.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let it go, Otis. The half-witch recognized us.
I knew you guys looked familiar. You were 2/3 of my original Monkey Island crew.
The crew you abandoned on Monkey Island, you mean?
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to escape from Monkey Island?
No. How difficult is it to?
Escape from Monkey Island.
Well, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
The whole experience was very traumatizing.
Scared us for life.
Gee, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, sorry doesn't feed the narwhals, Buster.
Whoever's playing that organ in the background, or like whatever it is, it's probably a piano but an accordion, is playing it nice and loudly. Anyway.
So, what have you rapscallions been up to?
Where to begin?
What have you been doing with yourself, Carla?
You mean after I finally managed to escape from Monkey Island?
You're never gonna forgive me for that, are you?
No.
Not in this lifetime.
Not in this
I
lifetime.
spent the last few years here on Melee Island re-establishing my Swordmaster credentials.
Well, that sounds productive.
Oh, it was, until that Australian showed up.
Australian?
Yeah, an Australian real estate developer. He challenged me to a round of insult sword fighting, badgered me into betting my house. It was over so quickly.
Gee.
Now I wander the streets of Melee insult sword fighting for food.
How sad.
That got dark very quickly. Right, so the Australian is challenging everybody to insult things, and in the voodoo lady that it's all types of voodoo, or insult whatever you want to know. Arm wrestling and golf. Insult golf.
How about you, Otis? What have you been doing for the last few years?
Well, after I finally escaped from Monkey Island, I made my way back to Melee Island, where I tried to resume my former profession.
Petty thievery?
I prefer to think of it as proactive redistribution of wealth. Unfortunately, the indignities I suffer on Monkey Island have left me so jittery that I cannot pick a lock or a pocket without making more noise than a flatulent hippo.
What vivid imagery. So how do you earn a living?
Begging mostly. You'd be amazed how many people will pay to hear the story of the innocent pirates who were betrayed by their idiot captain.
Whatever happened to Captain Smirk, the sword trainer?
He sold his house to a foreign investor.
But he didn't want to.
The investor challenged him to a round of insult gin rummy and beat him.
Smirk was so ashamed that he signed over the deed to his house on the spot and hopped the next ship out of Melee.
The same story's been repeated dozens of times all over Melee Island. This slimy investor strolls into a pirate's house or place of business, challenges him to a game of insult something or another, then humiliates them so badly that they have to cave into his hostile takeovers.
Haven't you noticed all the sword signs around here?
Oh yeah. So that's what that was.
Well, where's the third member of our old crew?
You mean Meat Hook?
That's a good question.
After we finally got off Monkey Island, Meat Hook renounced his piratey lifestyle and returned to his true passion.
Drinking?
Painting.
Painting? But the guy's got no hands.
That's what we said.
These stories are too depressing. Let's talk about something else.
If we must.
Won't you join my crew? For old time's sake.
Guybrush, take a good look at Otis.
Monkeys! Monkeys is part of the monkeys!
That's what happened to him the last time we agreed to be part of your crew. Now, what in the name of Blackbeard's dandruff could possibly convince
Blackbeard's
us to join
dandruff.
another idiotic adventure?
Well, how about
A brand new car.
a brand new car?
What?
Sorry, I kind of got caught up in the moment. Well, how about treasure? Boatloads of treasure.
We're still waiting for the treasure you promised us the last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, how about some lovely property off the coast of Booty Island?
Oh, that's rich. Everyone knows that a mysterious foreign investor has bought up all the real estate around Booty Island.
Well, how about cushy government jobs?
That sounds interesting.
Carla, what are you doing?
What kind of cushy government jobs are we talking about?
You know, the kind where you're paid 3 times the going private sector rate, no one checks your work, and it's impossible to be fired.
Don't listen to him, Carla. He just wants to take us back to Monkey Island.
We'd want contracts, of course.
I'll see what I can do. Be seeing ya.
Not if we see you first.
It's Carla and Otis from my original crew.
Okay, awesome. Ladies and gents, I think I'm going to have to leave it there. Obviously, the dialogue in these games, since they brought in voice acting, it just takes a lot longer to get through. It's still very fun and everything, but yeah, I think that's enough for today. And next time I'm going to go onto the rest of Melee Island. I think there's only kind of 2 locations really, maybe 3, and into Scumbar as well, and meet some of the more locals. But I think that's a good start for us. So I'm going to save the game here. And hopefully this save game feature works. Wow, like just seeing this again for the first time. First episode. It's been so long. I have to go to work as well, like soon, so I unfortunately have to leave. Weirdly as well, because of the way Windows works, I have to quit the game in order to use OBS to finish the episode. So every episode I'll have to quit like this, and then you'll just be left with a screen like that. And anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first episode. I salute you all, and see you next time on Escape from Monkey Island. I got my work cut out for me, don't I? But I'm going to try to do it for everybody, and myself as well. I really can't wait to play through Escape. See you later. Goodbye.